Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC provides digital media production, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. It's through media, training, and community partnerships that we create opportunities where we champion inclusion and truly make a difference for everybody. We are your USA team, and boy, do we have a powerhouse of guests joining us today. First, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Natalie Thurmond. Natalie was raised in Michigan, where her roots on a farm and early education in a one-room school helped to shape her strong values. She later studied at Detroit Bible Institute, where she met her husband in a singing group, and that began a 52-year marriage and a life centered around faith and family. A gifted musician, Natalie has served as a church pianist and organist for more than 65 years. She also is a talented seamstress who created everything from her children's clothing to wedding gowns. After overcoming arthritis through natural health approaches, she has spent over 4 decades helping others pursue better health and a cleaner lifestyle. Please help welcome with me here, Natalie Thurmond. Natalie, so glad you're here.
Oh, it's such a joy to be here tonight. So much fun.
It has been a real pleasure getting to know you a bit this evening. I wonder if you want to go ahead and tell us a bit more about what you do.
Well, as you said, I at one point I had arthritis, and I think that might be related back to the sewing because that's the spring. In the spring, I had made 7 gowns for my daughter's wedding, and I guess that was
Wow.
just a little bit much for my arm, and I got inflammation and arthritis in my right arm, which hindered all the gardening and the piano and everything else that I was trying to do. But fortunately, friends introduced us to a natural nutrition approach, and it changed my life. And so I have been pleased to follow that kind of path and study more about health and grow in that area and help other people live younger, longer.
I absolutely love that. And that's what it's all about, right? Helping others. When you find good things that help you, you want to share that out and make that difference for others.
Right. And I also work with skincare that's all botanical because there's so many chemicals out there in everything, and not only our food, but in our skincare, in our household cleaners, and introduce people to non-toxic cleaners that save them money and enable them to breathe at home and not put poison down the waterways into the lakes and everything.
Yeah, we need to take care of not only ourselves but our environment and all the things around us because I
Right.
know education is important to you too. You want to share a bit more about what how you approach teaching others and learning more for yourself?
Well, I listen to different podcasts and read wonderful books. And we have a monthly webinar with a functional medicine physician. And in fact, her monthly webinar is the third Thursday, which this month would be tomorrow. Another month, it would be a different time. And I'm pleased to introduce people to that possibility by gifting them a ticket to the webinar as they would reach out to me.
Excellent. Well, and I know you did share your website. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up on the screen so that can be visible for everyone here. So here is when you go to the website, let's see here. It is going to come up here with Natalie's name is right here. Sorry, I'm navigating as I go a little bit. And Natalie Thurmond's name is at the top, so you know you're in the right place when you see that. And her link to her website, I will go ahead and bring that back up in just a moment here. So it is shackley.com/site, SITE, slash Natalie TH, so NATALIETH, /storefront. So I will have that in the description down below. So if you missed that, it'll be easy to get, no problem. But at least you got a glimpse of what that looks like and you'll know you're in the right place. So anything else you want to mention here about what it is that you do and how it's helped you in your path through your life? Because I hesitate to ask, but I gotta ask. Would you mind sharing your age? Because I don't think anybody's gonna believe that you are the age you say you are, because you are
Well, it's always sort of a game when we play with new people. And then they'll say, "Oh, you're probably around 70," and I say, "Well, my son will be 68 in December." So then I have to tell him I'm 88. Because I had to be old enough to have him. But it's fun, and they're two learning about health and trying to practice what I preach. And um, there's a lot of things that we need to be active. We need to get out there and move. We need to hydrate. We need to sleep well. We need to get rid of our stress as much as possible, as well as eating right and, adding the supplements that might be lacking because our food just isn't what it was when I was a kid. And all of these different things, it's one big picture. It's not just one thing or another. It's not a bunch of pills. It's a whole lifestyle. Taking charge of our own lifestyle.
I love that. And how would you recommend people shop at a grocery store? Where should they be?
Oh, well, I tell them to go around the edges because that's where the fresh fruit and vegetables and the meat and the protein are, because in the middle it's all packaged. Um, I heard somebody say lately that some of this food is just one big science experiment, and there's so many additives and some things now are genetically modified, which who knows what that's going to do for us in the next 20 years. And so yeah, and of course now that we're emphasizing protein, we need, and it can be animal protein or it can be plant protein. I use a lot of shakes that are plant protein and have all the amino acids that we need and things. So it's a well-rounded program. Just pay attention to what you're doing and getting your 3 meals and your 90 to 100 grams of protein and not so much sugar, and go for it.
Excellent. I love it. All good tips, all good information, and things like I don't know why it struck me the way it did, but the idea of when you get to the grocery store and stay to the edges, it made so much sense to me hearing it that way. I love that. It's a good mind trick to be able to think that way and stay out of the middle. Just stay on the outside because that's where the healthier stuff is. So thank you for that. I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
And we do have some more friends joining us. I'm going to go ahead and bring the one and only Marianne of Waikiki in to join the conversation here and also to be introducing our next guest. But Marianne, why don't you come on in and say hello? So good to see you.
I'm going to say aloha and hola from San Carlos, Mexico. I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. It's my sign language name, my book author name. I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series featuring 200 folk mantis puppets. And the books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy and the Perfect Wave. And through guided meditation, I asked what my next purpose was in Hawaii. And the universe told me I was going to write a series of children's sign language books with puppets. And I laughed. Well, we walked down to the mall and I saw the tree of folk mantis puppets. And lo and behold, I could put my fingers in and sign and finger spell. And I interpreted for Scott for over a decade. I grew up in Michigan as well. I graduated from Central Michigan University with a communication audiology background, and I commuted to Lansing Community College for my sign language interpreting. So I know Natalie's in Michigan, so this is telling some history. And 30 some years ago, President Bush signed the American Disabilities Act. And at that time, I was a case manager with the deaf at a mental health agency called Transitions Community Support Programs. And what a great journey it is. And I got to go to Hawaii after I was injured in an auto accident in Dearborn, Michigan, where the Red Roof Inn manager drove her SUV through the hotel lobby behind me. And I suffered from neck, back, broken ankle, and a hearing loss. And I was evaluated by Dr. Michael Seidman the next day, and I have a vertigo. So I'm bringing this up again because Natalie knows exactly where these places are. And but this is the story. This is what happened. And I went back to apply for disability. I requested a sign language interpreter at Department of Social Services in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I used to bring my deaf caseload over there for taxes, for everything. And guess what? I asked for a sign language interpreter and they denied me. They said, we don't do that here. I said, oh, yes, you do. Because what was my job before? And well, we don't have any money here to do that. We don't have a budget. I said, yes, you do. Obviously, somebody didn't train you because, and they were just trying to blow me off, shuffle me under the rug. And I needed a sign language interpreter because this is determining my quality of life. And if someone's sitting in the Department of Social Services with caseworkers, it's very noisy. You can't hear everything. And it's also my right, everybody's right to have a sign language interpreter present. So this is how I'm sharing the story with you. And so I went to Honolulu and I got to live on a sailboat oceanfront, and Easter's coming up. And I saw Mr. Scott walking down the street with hearing aids. And I said, hey, do you know sign language? And he said, yes. And him and I went and had lunch. Well, I ended up interpreting for him at the Unity Church of Hawaii for over a decade. And the universe, like I said, led me to my next purpose and to the puppets that I could sign with. And well, all this garbage was floating around the sailboat, and we wanted to know why. And Suzanne Sims, my writer, helped me write the first book, Water Worldwide. And that's how it started. And then I did a sailing book signing tour with a Navy friend who cleaned up the explosives on the islands. I sailed 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles up the ICW. And I flew back to Honolulu, and my friend was a special education teacher, and she requested 50 books. She told me about donorschoose.org, and she got funded in 2 weeks. And Amazon shipped out the book. So I went on campus with the puppets and the first book, and tears of joy with the kids on campus. Where's Dr. Fingers? Where's Dr. Fingers? The finger spelling hermit crab. Well, he now has a coloring book and a YouTube channel that anybody can watch and learn the 26 letters of the ASL finger spelling alphabet. Not only that, we talked about looking on the ground and finding 10 pieces of plastic at the bus stop, McDonald's, the beach. It's not that hard to do, and we love to go by tens. And so it was a great opportunity. Like I said, all classroom teachers in the United States of America can receive copies of the books through Donors Choose. Then I wrote the second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for anti-bullying, introducing Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, who have their own YouTube, and coloring books too to go with the book. And then I got to complete it. And that's where I met Leon in Honolulu, and I gave him a copy of the book. So I said, when you fly back to Seattle, Washington, you're going to fly over the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You're going to understand this book more. So if we could even possibly connect with like the airlines, Rajiv, to have these books to read going to Hawaii or watching them on media, they're flying over these garbage patches, these rivers, and Boynton Slat and his organization are doing so much to clean up with it. So again, that's the vision and mission, and we are working on that through Kurt Roscoff, and Nonprofit TV is now showcasing my book trailers in Denny's restaurants. What a dream come true, as well as On the Mark TV in 220 networks. So I'm excited to share with you that I wrote Cool Acts of Kindness for Leon McLaughlin out of Seattle, Washington. It's called Cool Acts of Kindness, featuring water flow, the deaf whale. Now my characters have a hearing loss, and they all come to be together, learn service such as sign language or cleaning up the ocean. and being kind. And it's for the love of water. And we created a couple of book trailers so that people could really see my thought to action out of my head now. Okay. And so, Sue, if you could be kind to play this book trailer, and we have 4 of them, and we are reading this book this Saturday, starting to set this book for the book club. You can join us, and Santa Papa John is reading the chapters, and we have discussion, and Leon will be joining us. And one other thing is World Water Day is coming up this Sunday, and we are celebrating here in San Carlos, Mexico. We're going on a catamaran, and I have the honor to have. Am I still there?
Yep, you're here. You're good.
Oh, am I still there?
Yes.
Okay, I pulled up Rajiv's calendar by accident, so I don't know where I am.
You're good. We got the book trailer ready to go.
I'm trying to pull up the picture. Okay, I got the picture here. So, anyway, World Water Day is this Sunday. Brennan is going to do sound bath bowls. Marta's going to drum to the dolphins. It's just so, I got God bumps again talking about it. I'm so excited for this opportunity and to be recognized by United Nations. And Rajiv's here too. And Rajiv has worked with the United Nations. He's a speaker, and we will introduce him. I want to introduce him right now, but we're going to show the book trailer because I want him to see what I've been working on in the last year and help us bring these into media, into the airlines, and we have over 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. Prayers go out to what's happening with WW3 in Iran. I don't get into politics or religion, but think of all the hearing losses that are happening because of unnecessary things that are happening. There's other ways. There's peace, love, happiness, and thanks. So thank you so much, Rajiv, for being here. We're going to play the video, and then Rajiv, you can shine the light. Thank you,
All right.
Sue.
And here is that video.
For the love of water, World Water Year. Join us as we celebrate World Water Day with the 4th book in the Acts of Kindness series by Marianne of Waikiki. Meet Robo Motivation, a brave robot delivering clean water to schools worldwide. Alongside Waterflow the whale, our deaf ocean hero, they show that every act of kindness can change the world, one drop at a time. Plus, meet Pollination, the inspiring bee championing sustainability, and Mr. Penmanship, the Emperor Penguin, urging you to stand up for climate change by writing to Greenpeace. Powered by Lucy Lynch's Love is the Only Way. This movement reminds us that love, kindness, and action create waves of change. This book is dedicated to Leon McLaughlin, founder of Clean Water Foundation, Seattle, Washington, USA. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies for every student through DonorsChoose.org. Support a classroom, build a future. Get your copy today on Amazon and visit actofkindnessseries.com. Unite for the love of water.
Excellent. And with that, I want to go ahead and bring in our next guest to join the conversation. Marianne already alluded to him, but Rajiv, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to come on in and tell us a bit more about the amazing role that you play for all of us. Thanks for being here.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for the kind words, Marianne, and thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and your audience. I gotta say, the film, the preview, the trailer that we just saw was beautiful. It was really sublime. I think the music and the melody and the vision for it, the various characters, they're very engaging, and I think they're very accessible. And I think that people who are going to be watching this, kids that are going to be watching this, are going to fall in love immediately. And I think this is about content creation the right way. This is about infotainment. It's about taking a complex idea and making it simple, making it accessible, and the medium is storytelling, and having interesting characters and mascots to be the shepherd and guide to help in the story being received really well. So I gotta give props to Marianne for her creation and wish her continued success for all the new, beachheads that she's gonna like conquer.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, and if you want to share a bit more then about what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I'll kind of give you a super high level overview of what I do. So there are two sides to what I do. One side, of course, is the social impact side that's connected to the United Nations. But before I get into that, because once I start talking about that, we'll probably be here for a long time. But I'll kind of maybe first talk about my 9 to 5 side, if you will, right? So basically, I run a PR agency. I have the moniker of the assassin, but please don't be scared. I don't kill people. I only kill problems like scandal and negativity on Google, social, the press, or AI. So basically, if there are haters that are trying to disrupt businesses of good, hardworking people like you, business owners, what we do is we delete all that negativity from Google, like mean tweets, bad reviews, allegations of bad behavior in the press or even AI. And we do that to restore customer confidence and prevent imminent disaster, which is typically company shutdown. And on the flip side of that, we're helping for clients to be repositioned as thought leaders so that their ideal customers see them and choose them each and every time. And essentially, when someone realizes that you're the answer to their problems, they're going to come rushing towards you, money in hand, screaming, "Shut up and take my money." So we're able to deliver that outcome in their mind. And the pathways are, we have strategic outcomes and approaches as well as tactical. Strategically, we're helping them do things like speak at the United Nations or do a TED Talk, get them on TV, be a best-selling author, have ChatGPT say that they're the best of the best, that 10x's their business, but also presents them as a thought leader. And then on the other side of it, tactically speaking, we're helping clients generate mad amount of sales through our targeted ads on Meta and Google, where with a small advertising budget of just $3,000, we're able to generate sales as high as $20,000 or $90,000 each month. And yeah, so I mean, obviously, I'm like, that has really taken off like a rocket, and we've been signing up 5 new clients every single day for the last year. So I'm like super grateful for all the growth that we're experiencing. And I think it's all about community. Like this was the green room discussion that we were having, Kurt and I was having. And yes, it is all about community, because when community comes together, we're truly able to unleash the power of having people be advocates for each other. And that is literally how we have grown so far. In fact, we have a very attractive offer, which is basically like you might see this, in one of my screens in my background, which is about, hey, can I pay you $2,000 a month? And it's very simple. All you got to do is just introduce me to people. Just say, hey, Rajiv, you see that guy over there? Just why don't you tell him, why don't you talk to him? I think he needs your help. Literally, that's it. And then for that 20 seconds bit of work, I'll stuff those Benjamins in your pocket like you wouldn't believe. But yes, but that's the premise. And of course, if anyone wants to contact me, they can send me a text message on my mobile phone, which is 646-249-3561. That's 646-249-3561. Very, I mean, it doesn't have any repeating numbers, unfortunately, but yes, that is the number that I can be reached on. And the other side of what I do is working with the United Nations. I'm currently have been working with the United Nations since 2020. The first time I spoke at the UN was at the World Homelessness Summit. My speech was on solving homelessness by leveraging coaching and technology, after which the countries of Ghana and Malawi demanded I help them solve child homelessness in those countries. And I've been working with those countries ever since, and I still am. And part of the approach of working with those countries and instituting change is by coaching and mentoring and mindset coaching. And it's about basically helping people to see that there is a better way. You can make better choices, and it all hinges on information. So when you give information, and if you make it simple for people to absorb, for them to understand and process, then they will come to the natural conclusion that, wow, this is so simple. Like, why am I not doing this yet? So when you leave people with a very simple idea, like, okay, all they got to do is just pick up their phone and download an app, which is any of these ChatGPT app or Gemini, or it could be any app, right? You could just download your favorite app, whichever it is, and you can then use that app to generate content. And guess what? People are going to pay you money, lots of money, to create content for them. And that's how you can support your family, right? So this is not some pie in the sky utopia I'm talking about. This is something that is already happening. It's been happening for 10 plus years. How? Because I see this happening every single day on Fiverr and Upwork and so many other places where people from all over the place, like Nairobi and Kenya and Egypt and Cairo and India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, people from all these places are producing content for business owners and everyone, and making a lot of money. On average, they're making like maybe like about $2,000 or $3,000 a month, which is a lot in that currency. It's a lot. It's what we consider, like maybe almost 10,000. What we consider 10,000 a month, it's they consider has this equal amount of value of like 2,000. So the point is that they can support their families, live with dignity, have choices, and more importantly, not be, like living on the streets or be homeless. They don't have to be a victim. They could be someone that's not surviving but thriving. So it all starts with the mindset of realizing that we live in an ocean of possibility, and we just need to acknowledge it as such and see it as such. And once you acknowledge it, then you can start taking steps to walk towards participating in this really big, bright future. So that part of socializing the idea and helping people to see how simple it is what I've been doing at the United Nations for the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years.
Amazing. And I know World Water Day is coming up here in just a few days. Can you touch a bit on what that means to you as well in the process of what you're all doing?
Yeah, so water is a something that we all absolutely need for our very survival. In fact, in I think this was something that we mentioned in the last conversation, which was here in America, we open the tap and water gushes out. It's clear, crystal clear, and we can put it in a tumbler and put it to our lips and drink, and it tastes amazing. And it's awesome. And we don't even think about it. Why? Because that's how it is, and we're blessed to have that facility. But in other countries like Africa and Asia, that's not the case. You open the tap, sure, water comes out, but you can't just put it and drink it, because if you do, you'll fall sick. The water needs to be processed. You need to boil it. It needs to go through some reverse osmosis and water purification. The point is that you got to do a lot to be able to drink that water, and you need to drink water to live and to survive. So, with World Water Day, it kind of draws into focus the significance and the importance of water in all its forms, both drinking water as well as water that we need to grow crops, which our food is based on, as well as water, for other services like the water that we use to bathe in, to clean our utensils, to clean our houses and cars, and that sort of thing, the mechanization part of it. So water is like a ubiquitous thing that we absolutely need. And with World Water Day, I hope that everyone, is grateful that we have so much of it in easy access here in America, but also I hope that we can be a little bit generous when we think of helping other people that may not be as fortunate as we are here in America. And I just hope that World Water Day just creates that awareness, and that we can all do our little bit in helping to facilitate what I call water equity. So that because everyone needs to have the right to clean drinking water. Yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
Excellent. Oh, thank you so much for what you do and that role you play. That's amazing that you have the honor of being the one that gets to go and speak at the UN like that. That's thank you. Thank you for what you do. And with that, I know Kurt is in the background here listening in. I'm going to bring him in to join this conversation as well. Kurt, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. This is quite a crew we got here. Lots to celebrate, lots of information coming forward. What a night. All right.
Well, and I wanted to ask you if you want to share. I know you and Natalie connected through a group that you both attend on Mondays. Can you just touch on that briefly too? Because that's a great group that I would love to share out.
Yeah, so if folks go to thescuttlebutt.club, we've got this great website here for our group All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection. And we got a nice agenda put together. Each Monday we're there on Zoom. So you're seeing some of the superstars of the group. Terry, Marianne, Ruben, Santa, Papa, John. Oh, look at there. There's Natalie.
Woohoo!
Look at that. One of the superstars. Lucky to have her on the show right now. Mary, Richard, Bob, and Janet. So, and they're starting to put together a mapping. So this is a website in development here. So, so definitely welcoming everybody to that. And I can share that I come into this event here for the show having been on the open mind. So on Wednesdays, that's where I come from. Um, and then I also want to share about International Day of Happiness by the United Nations. That is March 20th. And so we have a group, Happy Neighborhood Project. So you're seeing Edwin Edinburgh there, Global Chief Happiness Officer. He was recognized by the United Nations for his work spreading happiness around the world. So if you go to hmpabc.com/IDH for International Day of Happiness, you can reserve through Luma your spot, and Luma will deliver you the ever so happy Zoom link to take part of those celebrations. I want to give a shout out to everybody who works hard on our website here with the Disability Channel. Look at that. You see Brian Gibson here with veteran Thomas. Make sure to check out the disabilitychannel.org and see all the great work being done here. A shout out to our TV partner there, Mark Balin with On the Mark TV. So lots of great things happening here at the Disability Channel. We certainly are enjoying quite a community. And again, back to Brian that I was talking about, there he is again on projectdiehard.org. We're combating veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans. So we are a proud resource partner of Project Die Hard. And I just want to share today's experience. Today it started. I go on to a Zoom to learn a little bit in webinar type workshop fashion, a presentation, about our control over the food we eat. And the gentleman who is conducting the message said that he just released in the recent days a trademarked program called Moment. So the concept is what's the difference between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.? So he's talking about that moment that might be at 9 p.m. I mean, it's just to give the point where you might be going to the cabinet because you're you got the munchies or something. And so you open up the refrigerator and there's this moment. And to look at the characterization of the moment, to look at the kind of decisions you make, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and then you're in this moment of weakness and you start making decisions differently. And part of that is like to Natalie's point, if you're all on Natalie's program, you might not be as much needing to do that 9 p.m. thing because you would have had all the nutrients you need and your body's just saying, oh, I'm all good, ready to sleep, right? So there's that aspect. And then I tell about how I was on the open mind. And what do they choose to talk about? The moment. Like right now. I'm here talking to Marianne, Natalie, Sue, and Rajiv, and Emily is on here as our podcast engineer. And what a moment we have. If this moment feels a little bit magical, it is meant to be, folks. I am living my dream. I dreamt it up a decade ago how great it would be if we could have a clearinghouse for all these great things that people are doing. And what does the universe put in front of me through this, not so good time of COVID, but we all did what we had to do to come together as a human family to minimize the losses during COVID. But we're in the legacy of those loss. But a lot of things were born out of the end that represents the end of life, the omega. But the omega gave birth to a lot of alphas that really put us into a situation that in my lifetime, 54 years running here with my life, I've never felt so empowered about what now in 2026. 2026 is the fix, No excuses. In 2026, I'm up to new tricks, including growing my mustache. People who are familiar with me are kind of like, oh, look at that mustache. Wow. So a lot of great things are happening right now in 2026. And thanks to all of our friends here. Thanks to all of you watching and viewing. Please do share what you're watching because you are part of a movement. With that, back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Oh, powerhouse of an evening here. I absolutely love what this is all the TDC Today Show communities. It takes a community. We are a strong community, all working together in our own ways and our own separate corners to make things better around us. And that's one thing that I love about those that come and join us on here. The outward focus that I see, those all reaching out and saying, I can help. I see things that you haven't seen yet. You've seen things that I haven't seen yet. Let's come together and grow together and move forward and make a difference out there. And before we wrap up, I do want to give everybody a chance to just say a brief final thought here. Any take home message you'd like us to go with and leave with? Actually, Marianne, if you're there and handy, I'll go ahead and start with you.
Well, our tagline is "So go out and play" on World Water Day. So we hope to have video footage with the dolphins, with the drumming, the sound bath bowls available for Dr. Anthony Sorelli on Nonprofit TV and On the Mark TV as well. Again, so go out and play. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. Aloha.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Marianne. Rajiv, I'll send it over to you next.
Yeah, thank you so much. The closing thought is, we're like really big on coaching and mentoring here at R Square Media, and we're always looking for great people to work with. We have an ongoing global mentorship program. We're like 5-star rated on Glassdoor. So if there's anyone that's listening, whether they're a professional, whether they're, between jobs, or whether you're even in high school and you want some clarity on what your career ought to be, one of the benefits of working with our program is you get free coaching and mentoring. And our promise to you is we will help you find your dream job and your dream company quickly. And we've been doing this for 10 plus years. And now we have people working in Nike and Google and Hulu and Sony and, ABC, like Disney. And, like they're like some amazing places where people are working. Microsoft and Apple. Yeah, so I can go on and on. But the point is, yeah, if you want to find out more, you can either send me a text on my number stated earlier, which is the 646-249-3561, or on my website, rsquaremedia.com. So that's RSQUARE media, media.com. So that's the website. You can check it out. You can go to the careers page and then you'll see more about it. It is an unpaid internship, but you are blessed with the free coaching, which itself is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So I hope you take me up on it and change your future.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rajiv. Natalie, I'll send it to you next. Oh, you
you're
gotta
on mute.
unmute.
You're on mute.
There we go. The magic of Zoom.
Considering that all the talk about Water Day and the environment and so forth, I think I'd like to reiterate the Shackley cleaners are extremely concentrated, so that a collection of Shackley cleaners, which is maybe $150, would cost $3,400 in the store, because you would end up with a mountain of bottles with water and a little bit of cleaner. And so with ours, you buy a very concentrated amount so that you're not even putting very many bottles in the recycling, which they are all recyclable. But you use your own water and just a couple drops of cleaner, and they're, we've been green since 1960, and so it's the nutrition, the skincare, and the cleaners that encompass all of our lives and make life better for me, and works for me.
Excellent. I love it. Green before green was cool and known. That actually says a lot about that history of the company. So thank you so much, Natalie, for joining us today. And Kurt, one last chance on your end. Final thought.
My final thought is that I believe in you. I believe in what you can do. I want you to believe in what you can do. Don't be afraid to be ridiculous, obnoxious, extreme, absurd, or even awkward. Today, March 18th, is National Awkward Moments Day. So we're back to that moment thing. I mean, look at that. This is coming through in spades here. So if something kind of seems a little uncomfortable, what I'd suggest is that it's come into your life, it's come before you, it's come inside of you because it's connecting inside of you in that possibility. I team up with one of our friends, Robert Butwin. You can't help but win with Robert Butwin, and he talks about that possibilities to prosperity. So live that in your life. Go for it. Live the power of one. What you can think of to get done, you can get done, and just stay on it. Don't listen to all those naysayers. If you got a lot that going on, call Rajiv. He'll assassinate them right out of your life. Don't worry about them. There's success stories where time and time again, people will try to rob you of your moment, will rob you of your future, will try to push you down. People don't know what you can do. You don't even know what you can do, but find out. Go for it, reach for it. When it feels like you can't, come back, keep with it. Ask yourself that important question. Well, if that's not how I can, how can I? If it seems like I can't, just keep with it. That's what the community of people with disabilities taught me, this idea of look at my ability, not my disability. That's just a candor of life that they taught me. They invigorated in me. Is kind of like a message to me. Hey, Kurt Roskoff, why not go out there and see if we can create a clearinghouse for all this great stuff people are doing and just help the mapping, you know, get get a cluster of 18 people or 8 people, whatever, and get it out there to the 8 billion people. We're connected on this planet like never before. I heard Rajiv talk about Walt Disney. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world, and it's possible for you to do everything you can think of to do in this world. Do it, live in the moment, make it happen, keep with it, don't give up. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in you. Back to you, Sue.
Amazing. What this all brings together, this community always impresses me. And I give my sincerest thanks, Natalie, Marianne, Rajiv, Kurt, all the great things you bring forward here for all of us here with the Disability Channel and the TDC Today Show communities, as always.